Hello, and welcome to another episode of Inventor's Quick Tips. In this episode, we are going to be discussing a patent strategy based on an episode of Shark Tank. In particular, this is based on one of the inventors showcased in Season 12, Episode 11, for the SwipenSnap. So I was watching Shark Tank, which is a show that I do enjoy, and a lady explained her invention and product called SwipenSnap. It is basically an adapter that screws onto a tube of ointment that you might apply to a baby while changing it. And the adapter applies the ointment more neatly than just using a tube, and consequently, there is also less wasted product. And she went on Shark Tank, and during the episode, she mentioned that she had a patent on the product, and she also indicated that she wrote the initial patent application for it, which impressed the sharks. She mentioned that she used a Patent It Yourself book, which is one of my favorite books to introduce the world of patents to would-be inventors. So if you are looking for a book to help you in that regard, this is the book. One of the sharks indicated that he was quite interested in licensing the product for other applications. I'm not sure what he had in mind, but maybe he thought that this adapter would be good for applying grease to machinery or some other non-baby applications. They didn't really get into it, except to say that he wanted to license it. So with that context that we just described, now I want to generalize the scenario a bit to explain a potential patent pitfall and what you can do about it. In many cases, such as you see on Shark Tank, an inventor starts off small with not much budget to work with. Now, given the choice, I don't think writing patent applications is a do-it-yourself task in most cases. But in situations where the resources simply are not available, then usually writing a patent application yourself is better than no patent application at all. The U.S. Patent Office does have a program that provides free patent services to eligible inventors, and I will put a link to that video describing the program in the description. If things go well, you get a patented grant on your invention, which is an accomplishment in and of itself. It's even better when your product is generating some interest. Even better still, people are interested in licensing your invention so they can sell products and/or services that use it. So if you get this far, you are doing really well. However, what if the patent isn't very strong? What if it doesn't cover the important features? What if it's too specific and therefore is easy to design around? Then what? What steps can you take to prevent this scenario from ending badly? And just to note, at this point, I am not talking about the specifics of the Shark Tank episode here, but just in general, for the scenario you see here, what can you try to do to maximize our chances for success? Co-pendency is a patent term meaning that you have two patent applications that are pending at the same time for at least a day. Let's show how co-pendency can help in the Shark Tank scenario we just discussed. We'll start with an example timeline. Let's say that you file your first application, which is an inventor-written application, the patent it yourself situation, in January 2021. You do it yourself, and you get a notice of allowance a little while later in February of 2023. The notice of allowance is a notice from the Patent Office saying that the patent is going to issue, typically within a few months depending on when certain fees are paid. Then a few months later, let's say in May 2023, it does issue. Then a year later, let's say investors interested in the idea want to potentially license it. But what if that patent that issued in May 2023, written by the inventor, does not have strong claims? Once it issues, it's pretty hard to fix any claimed deficiencies. In some cases, this situation can be mitigated with a copendency strategy. So let's see how that would work. In between the time of the notice of allowance, which is February 2023, and when the patent issues, which was May 2023, a continuation patent application is filed. So let's say in our case, March 2023, a continuation patent application is filed. This is a special type of patent application that uses the same description and drawings as the first application, but with a different set of claims. I have videos that discuss continuations, and I will put a link to those in the description. Now, with this in place, if investors show an interest in your idea but are concerned about the strength of the claims, the continuation application can be amended to address those concerns, which may help alleviate concerns of the investors or at least keep more doors open for licensing opportunities. So what are some takeaways or lessons we can learn from this study? If you can, keep an application pending. This gives you opportunities to make changes in response to business opportunities. It is critical that the original patent application, the first one filed, whether self-written or professionally written, contains sufficient details to support the inventive concepts that you are trying to protect. This way, if you later decide to get a professional to help you with the continuation, they have the information to work with to support the claims that can protect your invention to potentially support a licensing deal. And again, writing your own patent application is an accomplishment, but in my experience, if you can avoid it, this is not the time for a do-it-yourself project. You should be focused on your invention and product development and let someone who knows the patent process well handle that part for you. Which brings me to one slight critique of the Shark Tank episode. If you listen carefully to the episode, the sharks say that they are interested in licensing, contingent on that the patents enable licensing. That is, do they have strong claims that protect the invention? In the episode discussing the SwipenSnap, the inventor indicated that she wrote the patent application herself, and the sharks appeared to be impressed with her tenacity and her ability to do that. Now, while that might make for good television, I think that in reality, an investor would be leery about an inventor who wrote their own patent application, and especially in the case where an inventor wrote their own claims, because they would be concerned about how strong the claims would be and if they could support a licensing agreement. From what information I could gather, in this particular Shark Tank case, the inventor wrote an initial application and then relied on the co-pendency concept that we discussed here to get a professional to write follow-up applications that became patents with professionally written claims to support the licensing. And so this inventor appears to have used the copendency principles we discussed here to allow for strong claims that made the sharks comfortable to get on board. In other words, the inventor was able to obtain some strong patents. I have a video series on what makes a strong patent, and I will put links to those videos in the description below. So please check out those videos. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks again for watching.